to the sun with me, so I can show you something you've never seen. And both you and I shouldn't be too shy about letting go for once. Come and be free with me.
Hello everybody. So before we leave Talladega behind us on this gloomy, rainy day, I want to talk a little bit about campground etiquette, because we ran into an interesting experience in Talladega. Because he came in at 2:30 in the morning, headlights blazing, backed his trailer in, turned every light on the trailer on, set up camp completely, got his electric drill out, put all the jacks down, made all kinds of noise, and then turned on both of his generators and went off and went to bed. And so we fell back asleep. And about 3:30 in the morning, we were rudely awakened and scared out of bed by a carbon monoxide alarm. Okay, there's our combination propane and carbon monoxide alarm. The first time the alarm went off was at 1:30 in the morning, and we came in and aired the place out and searched around and found the culprit, or the cause of the alarm. Yep. That one right there, or more appropriately, the rear end of that one. That was our first experience in finding out that dog farts do set off the carbon monoxide alarm. And look at her. She's embarrassed. She's hanging her head. She knows I'm talking about her. Anyways, so that leads to our second alarm. So the second time the alarm went off, we were thinking that's probably what the cause was, because that had happened once before. But when we came in, there she was asleep on her bed in the living room, far away from our carbon monoxide and propane detector. It turns out that the guy that had pulled in behind us in the middle of the night and made all the noise setting up camp, he also, when he turned his generators on, he faced them both directly off the rear end of his trailer. But since the trailers were only maybe 3 or 4 feet apart, what that did was that put his exhaust directly underneath our trailer. And so what had happened was his exhaust was all going underneath the trailer and was filling our trailer with his carbon monoxide. So it was a legitimate alarm, and we're very thankful that we had the alarm and that it was working. We were able to get the trailer aired out, and I went outside in my pajamas and turned his generators so they were facing a different direction, and then talked to him a little bit about it the next day, kind of a, hey, thanks for almost killing us in our sleep type of thing. But luckily nobody was hurt, and he was very apologetic, and, hopefully he realizes next time, not to face the exhaust towards somebody else's trailer. So anyways, with that, we went to the race, had a great time, and then we hit the road and headed towards Michigan. And our first stop along the way was in Tennessee.
After spending a couple of days in Tennessee at the Army Corps of Engineer campground, it was a very nice campground. We didn't do too much, just sat around. We packed up and headed towards Michigan, but along the way my wife wanted to stop at Mammoth Cave in Kentucky. I'm not one to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. Neither am I one that wants to go down in the depths of Hades or hell, whatever you want to call it, but we went down in the cave, Mammoth Cave. after going down about 300 and some odd feet, the question came to my mind, wonder if they got earthquakes down here. So I asked the guide, do you guys get earthquakes down in here? He says, we're too far down to feel them. But you do get earthquakes. He says, yeah, but we haven't had one. Well, that eased my mind a little bit more, but not too much. We made it out of there, safe and sound. I'm here to talk about it today.
You guys have tremor or earthquakes?
Sometimes we do. We don't really feel them in the cave. We're a little too far underground to feel earthquakes right now. But what about that? Oh.
Let's look at that.
So we got done with all the cave hiking and headed out of Kentucky. Lo and behold, we got into this traffic jam that you would never believe. I think we were behind this traffic jam for, I don't know, 10 miles. And we were doing maybe about 10 miles an hour, if that. Seems like we run into an Amish traffic jam. Check it out.
So our last stop on our way to Mackinaw City was Nichols Lake South Campground in central Michigan. First word of advice, do not believe Google Maps at all.
No. I got us into a place where I didn't think we'd get out. And it was really, really tight. You could probably get a smart car in there and have no problem.
It didn't work so well with a 65-foot rig.
We ran into some people that pointed out the way, the right way, because we were way on the other side, thank you Google, of the lake. So we got in and got out of there pretty good. It was tight.
And so we arrived at the campground on opening day. It was nice because we had our pick of where we wanted to stay. We were the only guests in the park.
They just opened up for the summer.
Yeah. And the only other people on site were the camp hosts. And they ended up having a doctor's appointment across the state, and they left the next afternoon and pretty much left the inmates running the asylum there.
Yeah.
We were the only ones.
And thank goodness that we were the only ones. We had a few people fly through there, and by all means, we were not watching the place. We were just guests there, and I guess you want to talk about going fishing.
So yeah, it was a beautiful campground. It was really neat because we got to watch the trees bloom over the course of the few days we were there. They had a nice beach. We went fishing.
The loons. Love to hear the loons. I love loons. They're so cool.
Yeah. But the place was infested with ticks. They were everywhere.
We went down to go fishing, and instead of on the beach, we thought, well, we'd just go in where the rugged man goes fishing. We started climbing through bushes and everything, running along the lake, walking through the swampy areas, and finally thought we had a good spot and started casting out. And when it come time to put another worm on the hook, I'm noticing ticks.
They were on the tackle box. They were on the beer cooler. They were on our shoes. They were in our clothes.
Ah.
They were everywhere.
So instead of sitting around there not getting anything but ticks, we didn't catch nothing but ticks, we decided to just bail back to the camper and check each other out. And y'all know that song, I'd like to check you for ticks.
That's what we did. And thank goodness we were the only people in the whole campground because we didn't want to infest the trailer.
We turned that place into a nudist colony.
We stripped down buck naked right in front of the trailer.
And there was a couple on me that had gotten under my clothes, and 2 of them attached. And
I took a hot pin and picked them off of him, and then we picked our clothes apart, and we built a little campfire, and we dropped the ticks into the fire as we pulled them off of our clothes.
but other than that, it was a very cool spot. It was just that time of season for, ticks. And they do have warnings out there, beware of the ticks. And luckily we didn't get any that had Lyme disease.
Right, yeah, they weren't deer ticks, thank goodness.
Yeah.
So Emma, she held down camp while we went fishing, and
She had a couple on her.
she did. She got one on her nose,
Yeah.
but it was a nice place though. And the frogs, I have never heard such loud frogs at night.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Really neat. So after enjoying that for a couple of days, we went ahead and that was our last stop before reporting into Mackinaw City.
So we will end it right here.
Yep, so we'll leave you in Mackinaw City with a few pictures of our campground that became our home for the summer. And next time, we'll start showing you around Michigan.
See ya.
Bye.
Like, share, comment, please.
Please, and hit that subscribe button.
Helps us out a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.